This is Film Don't Lie on A2D Radio. And as always, we are brought to you by Alonzi Travel, specializing in creating the vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls you. Reach out to get a quote and start planning. My email, charles@alonzi-travel.com. It's on the ticker for you if you want to check it out. We're back. It's Chucks. It's Pete. We decided to go live. We were a little late. So we're like, you know what? Hockey show's over. Let's go live and see if people want to join the NFL talk we got today, because we got a lot to discuss. We have a lot to discuss. We are going to talk about the NFC playoff picture as we enter December. Why are we bringing that up? Because, man, there were numerous upsets this past week, until week 13. Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Sunday, awesome. This, the NFC playoff picture is a lot of to look at. It's bananas. So we're gonna dive into that. So with the first game, we're gonna talk about. So we're gonna break down 3 different games, and then we're gonna talk about as a whole how we see this thing play out. So the first game we're gonna get into, of course, let's get into our home turf, what we're familiar with. Eagles versus Bears. All right. So Black Friday, Bears dominated the Eagles on the ground. The final score was 24-15, something like that. Was it 24-15?
24-15, yeah.
Yeah, 24-15.
281 yards on the ground.
Yeah. I don't. Where do you know what? Let me start off with this. So we previewed it last week, Pete, right? And I had given different keys to the game for the Eagles against the Bears.
Right.
I feel like all the major points that I hit on for keys to the game, the Eagles did none of them. So stop the run. Did we stop the run? No. Play action. Did we defend play action well? No, not really. There was that one, touchdown pass and yeah. On the other side of the ball, get home against Caleb Williams. How many sacks did we have? Barely any. What was it? They were one of the worst defenses in the whole league. Couldn't run the ball.
But at the top 3 linebackers, they did get their corners back, which we didn't talk about, Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon.
Yeah,
but
they did. But their whole linebacker unit was injured.
Yeah.
No success running the ball. And then what did I say about the Bears defense? They lead the league in takeaways. What did we do twice? We turned it over. If you fail to do a bulk of that, of course you're going to lose the game. But let's get your thoughts. What is the one takeaway you want to say? You can either do Bears side, Eagles side, but where do you want to start?
So Bears side, I even last week's show when we preempted the before the game, we kind of know Ben Johnson is that dude. We didn't go into it as much that it probably as it deserved, but it's probably the best offensive mind they played all year outside of Sean McVay. And it was evident, and we kind of talked about is there levers that Stoutland can pull in the run game from a scheme perspective? And Friday's game, not only did it get beat personnel wise, but the scheme in the run game. I mean, there was green grass everywhere just breaking it down from wham blocks or traps. And our guys kind of said it on the defensive line. They said, this is kind of what Atlanta did to us last year, right? These traps, these double teams. But what was happening is you would put DJ Moore in the motion and make Reed Blankenship think about, do I take him in the flat or do I stay in my lane? Because now Zach Baum bumped and the motion made the linebackers bump over. Yeah. So everybody was in the A gap, now they're in the B gap. Everybody was in the C gap, now it's in the B gap, right? And then the C gap completely is gone. Now Reed Blankenship has to fill that. But now guess what? You're sending DJ Moore out, what you thought was a flat, but he's there to help block. Now it's a gash play, right? So from that side of it, hats off to the Bears. I mean, offensive line is probably playing the best offensive line football in the NFC right now, at least in the NFC, if not the whole NFL right now. Hats off to them. And it just our own issues and inefficiencies since it got exacerbated, right? And it almost feels like we talk about the score 24-15. It feels like they put up 48. It felt like they put up 48 because we haven't seen that defense even the Dallas game the week before, it was more so the Eagles kind of giving the game away and letting Dallas back into it, and the Dallas took advantage. Even though Dallas in that game, the Eagles defense as a whole gave up more yards total. They almost gave it 400 pass it. I think it was like 150 yards rushing, right? Or something like that. Something weird. So the total offensive yards in this game on Friday wasn't as much as the Dallas game, but this was they got out Eagle. We usually go in and in the trenches, and we're the bigger, better team. We're the bully. We push people around. We kind of impose our will.
Not this game.
The Monsters of the Midway, and this is the stat. Like, they haven't had two rushers over 100 yards for the Chicago Bears since 1985.
And they did it this.
I don't even know if you were alive in 85.
Nope, I was born the year after.
So, yeah, it was just that. Those are my first initial thoughts. Taken away, it's like you caught a team that's playing well, and you're not at the wrong time, short week, and after a holiday, and it just seemed like they came out flat.
Yeah.
They came out flat, and I think it was from the defensive side. It was just like, hey, when the offensive inefficiency, once they saw it again, I don't know. I wouldn't say the lack of want to or what have you, but that, I mean, human nature is if you work in a company and you are one side of the business, and you know that one side of the business is kind of holding up their end of the bargain and then some for the past couple quarters, right? So we're talking about corporate world, right? And now you see this department, they still can't get it right. You know, that's kind of how this is on the defensive side. And obviously they won't come out and say that, but there was definitely some lackluster efforts there. And it still boggles my mind in this situation. And no reporter has asked this question, that we've seen it. And as much media coverage as this team has in this area, is what we couldn't give Bigsby a look. Jihad, no snaps. Like, is this something that was planned? Is this something disciplinary? Was that just the idea from the coaches? What happened? Because you see what's going on up I-95 right now in New York. Abdul Carter can't even show up to meetings on time. He's getting benched completely.
Yeah.
You know, and like, it's just been completely. And I don't know how much of a difference it would have made. And I would say that the offensive inefficiencies led to the defense's backbreaking, essentially.
100%. Like, there were
the
amount of times they have to be on the field. The amount, like,
I think time, like, TOP was 39-21 or something like that. Yeah. It's 31 or 31-29. It's something weird. I don't even think it wasn't 31-29. It's probably 39-21. But like, when I say that, it's like with Bigsby, it's like if you gave him a touch, not saying what he would have did, but some type of spark, right? I was listening to the PHL Wall podcast and Fran Duffy and breaking it down. Always does a great job. Him, Bill Wolf, and EJ Smith. And it's kind of talked about on one play, there was supposed to be a combo block where Mailata and Goddard were supposed to chip to DN.
Yeah. But
the positioning for Goddard was, there was nowhere for Mailata to help because his leverage was completely gone. He was completely completely straight. So and these are the things that, yes, from a macro level, we can all see it. We've been talking about the offensive inefficiencies all year through 12 games, but these are the things that only come up on film, to where you see the problem is rooted bigger than that, because now the lack of execution and the lack of attention to detail is severely costing this team. And you can go into, we talked about Calcaterra trying to block a D in one-on-one. If you listen to the same part I did, it made me go back and look at film of Goddard. Like, this dude ain't even playing the same way as he was playing last year, blocking one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is severely, if he was what he was last year, especially in the run game from a blocking perspective, this may solve a lot of the issues for this team, because it would be key to open up the run game for Barkley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so many little things, so many like details of you know, not taking up all the surface block of you know, and it's just everything is so messy. Everything is just doesn't make sense. And I was saying this on Eagles Talk, like, there's just, even they can turn some things around, like they can fix some things 100%. I just think there's too much to fix for them to be a viable for them to reach the Super Bowl again. I think in the end they will make the playoffs. I think they will, they're not going to look as bad as they did in 2023, where that team was just done. They were just dead in the water. I don't think that's the case with this team. But there's too much to turn around and to fix for them to say, for me to put any confidence in saying they can represent the NFC in the Super Bowl and win it. Too much. It's too much to fix. So, that's the ego side of it. And, I don't want to spend too much time talking about the offense because it's the same stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can keep harping on the same issues, and it's just going to be a waste of time. I don't think on the defensive side there's anything glaring that I think I'm overly worried about.
They got out schemed. Like Ben Johnson will do that to you.
It's Ben Johnson, and Vic Fangio, one of the best in the business. Even the best in the business get outcoached sometimes, and it is what it is. It's not.
Here's what I would just echo to that point of no team in the NFC has shown me consistently that they are the team, and that's why I would say
no team in the NFL. I'll even add to that.
Yeah, but expound on that in the NFL. That's why I say if they have to find a way to be the most perfect version of this imperfect team. And if they can keep, not say skating by, but they can find something, then potentially what you had. I don't think this team is different than last year's team, right? From a health perspective, from a personnel perspective, as much as they want to admit it or not. And then from a coaching perspective, the ideology perspective, it's not the same.
Yeah.
But when you see little things like everybody's talked about the Devontae play, we see what Kurt Warner said.
Miscommunication.
When you have those miscommunications like that, those are the things that at the surface level that has to be shored up. And if you start to see that, who knows, right? And my only thing is in 2023, the Cowboys are right behind you the whole year. Everybody else in the NFC East is completely in your rear view. If they do not win this division, to me personally, this is a bigger collapse in 2023.
I can understand that. And we were looking at the schedules.
Yeah.
It's close. It's going to be very close. If the Eagles go 2-3, right? They finish with 10-7. The Cowboys, if you look at their schedule, they could also finish with 10 wins. They have the tie. So they would be 10-6-1. And that would be the tiebreaker. They would would win the division. So again, we don't know how things will play out, and it's just projection. But there is a scenario. There is a possibility where it happens. So you've got to Eagles have to to feel good. I'd say they have to win at least three games.
So you figure whether or not Herbert plays Monday, and this is the thing I would say for me is out of the remaining 5 games they have left, I think they take one from the Commanders. They split there, just surface level, not even seeing them take another snap until Monday. And I think they beat the Raiders. So that gets you at 10.
I guess you at 10.
10-7, 11-6. 11-6 sounds a lot. I think 11-6 gets you the division.
I think 11. That's what I'm saying.
I think 11. I think if you can get to 11, you get.
I think that wins the division. Again, the Cowboys could win out, but I think if they win out, they would be. What would they be if they win out?
They're 6-5-1 right now, so they would be 11-5-1. So they would
would have to lose. Yeah, if they win out, then yeah. But I think they lose. I think it's possible. It's likely.
I think they lose Sunday playing Detroit in Detroit because Dallas is a completely different team, and I'm not going to be a believer until they do it on the road because this is the same team who the team that we lost to on Friday, week 3 or 4 of the season, had a 40 spot put on them by the Bears.
Yeah. Before we'll get into the Lions. We're going to talk about them, but I think they lose to the Lions. So 4 wins for them, and they would.
What's up, Bryce? Comment, share the show.
Absolutely.
I know we're live. I see 30 people in here. Share, comment.
Let us know what you think. But I think to feel good, you have to win 3. So the three winnable games on the Eagles schedule would be the sweep the Commanders, right? Win against the Raiders. And then the Chargers and the Bills are the better teams on the schedule. If you lose to them two, but still take care of the Commanders, and plus the two Commanders win would be division wins, and beat the Raiders, then you're in good shape. But again, anything
Commanders in Washington gonna be tough, man. Commanders
it's gonna be tough because it's division. So I get it. Like division game is gonna be close. I'm just saying, like, if you're stacking the teams, like the Commanders are, they're not as good. So like those are your winnable games. So they've got to aim for at least 3. So it's gonna be close. It's gonna be tough. So, but like talking about the Bears, because I'm so sick of talking about the Eagles. Talk about the Bears. We talk about their run game, and we'll get into some clips here. I definitely want to talk about it because what they were able to do, just beautiful art from Ben Johnson. But they dominated the run game. They used a bunch of stuff with like motion, personnel, alignments, and sequencing. And so it was a delight to see. And if you've paid attention, because I've watched a bunch of their games, like they've been doing this all year. I won't say all year. It took them several weeks to figure it out. But like once they figured out this run game, man, like they've been doing this stuff. So Ben Johnson is cooking right now. The passing game wasn't great, but they made timely throws. Like Caleb didn't have his best game, but they made timely throws, especially that dagger to Cole Kmet, which we'll get to. So like the timely throws were there, and like I had said before, the defense, not only did they stymie the offense, which is, I mean, it's no hard feat at the moment, but they created 2 turnovers, which they consistently have done. Got the Byard pick, which was a great play by him, and then who was the one that came in and got the fumble? Was that Deshaun Wright? That was Deshaun Wright. Yes, the guy that I had said gets intercepted. Like he creates turnovers, so
he's around the ball.
Yeah, so it was just nothing.
And I never thought I would say this, but unless we're on the goal line, I don't want to see the tush push. Because if you look at a tush push for 2023, 2024, and you just look at Jalen's level, his height level of where he's at, his to the ground, he's at least 6 to 8 inches lower to the ground 2 years ago to what he is now. He's down there almost halfway standing up, and they're doing that now on purpose to rip the ball out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I don't know if you saw, but they switched up the alignments of Saquon and Goddard. So Saquon and Goddard weren't protecting Hurts' sides anymore for this one. They changed it up last week.
They're trying to get maybe a lighter box, or trying to see if they can get that trick play like we had in Tampa Bay out of it. But even Jalen said, like, is it getting harder to run the tush push? And he was like, yes.
Yeah.
Like he's like, it's straight up getting harder. Like it's people. He says it's literally people holding me upright where I'm trying to get down. And I'm being held to be upright because the whistles are so slow. So that's where, and then the one that we had, like Saquon had some effective runs on that. Like I just we're paying. Yeah, I get it. I don't want to go in the dodge trap again with the offense, but as you were.
Speaking of the offense, like to switch it to the Bears. And what they were doing, I want to get to some clips here. So, we talk about, like, me and you, we always talk about when it comes to offensive play calling.
And there's art to it.
There's art to it. Sequencing is so key. And I remember I said last week too, we were talking about how an offense, if your offensive line is not blocking well, or like it's not working, what can a good offensive coordinator do to improve schematically the run game, right? And I had said before, like I said, okay, motions, right? Disguise, do things to get the defense thinking, and then marry your run concepts with your pass concepts.
Yep.
And we saw that with Ben Johnson and the Bears. I'm going to bring up these plays. So it's these. I have 3 plays here. This is the first one. This is the third quarter, very beginning of it, right? So we're going to have, and let me get this out. So there's a third quarter, 13:49 mark. It's 1st and 10, right? This is actually going to be a sweep over to. They're going to give this to what is it? It's jet sweep over to DJ Moore. I'm sorry. Yeah, jet sweep to DJ Moore. He's circled here. He's the target, and I've circled Sidney Brown up top. I want you to see what Sidney Brown does because they are playing to this. Reed Blankenship is in the box. They're playing this numbers through the passing strength. Well, you're going to see here, once DJ Moore goes in motion, there's no rotation, right? So they don't rotate down until it's too late. Now you see here, DJ Moore has the ball. I numbered them. There's 1, 2, 3 defenders for the Eagles on this side of the formation.
And 2 blockers.
2 blockers, but look at the levels that they're on. Yep. Sidney Brown, number 1. He's all the way in the 3rd level.
Yeah. Too much step.
2, 2nd level, 3 is in that. Well, 2, I'd say that's still Adoree Jackson is still in the 3rd level. While I forget who's number 3. Is that Zach Moon? I forget who's number 3, but he's in the 2nd level. So there's so much space to work with for DJ Moore to work with here. So this is what leads to this big gain right here, right? So that's the first play.
That was Cooper. That was closest to the line of scrimmage.
Okay. So let's now go to later in the quarter. This is 4:33 mark, 1st and 10, right? Now, look who I'm targeting. Kyle Monangai is going to get the ball, right? So this is going to be a handoff. Look at the rotations, okay? So we're going to get jet motion again, right, from the wide receiver. I think this is a Dunze. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? So I apologize if I'm wrong. I think this is a Dunze. He's going to go in motion.
Yeah, because of the first play, far side of the field. He plays with long sleeves on all the time.
So because of the first play, look at the safeties rotating. Look at Blankenship and Sidney. Look at them hard rotate. Now, Reed is hard rotating to the back. Sidney's coming down hard to that side. But no, Odunze doesn't have the ball. This is a handoff to the weak side to Monangai. Now look at the numbers once again to this side, to the strength side of the formation, right? Of the strength side, the strong side of the play. There is 1, 2, 3 players in the second and third levels, right? 3 defenders and all this room once again for the runner to work with. And this goes, I think this was like 30 something yards. So Kyle Monangai rips off a huge gain there. So you're starting.
It was the first play after they scored the touchdown too. But before we even expound on it even more, if you go back about 5 or 6 seconds, for Monangai to even get to that part and for our guys to even over rotate, it's being won at the snap.
Yeah,
look at how much space and how much we're getting. Look at they're completely turning.
Look, snap, and then look. This is
Is that a Jomo? The second one from the top. His back, you can almost see the back of his jersey turning him so much with the double team win block. So, and we got Brandon Graham down at the bottom, double team, single block. Davis, he's getting stood up. I mean, it is, but he's not the objective. You can live with that. What Ben Johnson's main goal is to get these to the double team blocks and get this lane open from a gun guy.
Yeah, and that's the other thing to this. Not only schematically were the Bears able to manipulate the numbers to their advantage, their O-line was dominating our defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not. It's twofold. It's crazy. So all the space, there's just so much room for Monangai to work with, and he rips off this long run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Building and sequencing these plays. But now you have the kill shot. And the last play I'm going to get to, kill shot here. We all know it, but play action, I highlighted target is Komet. He's in line right there, okay? So he's in line. Now look at both safeties, Sidney Brown and Reed. Look how hard they bite off this play action. And
that's why the running game is so important. You've been getting gashed all game, and you're going to oversell on it.
You oversell, overcommit, and it's just too easy. Like Reed there's no way he can catch up with this. If he was in the deep middle, he could possibly make a play on this. But because he had to overcommit to the run, there's no way he's going to catch this, and that's a touchdown to commit. So, yeah, it's a beauty when you sequence these plays and when you're able to say, hey, look, we're going to marry these concepts. You are one look, right, from one play looks so similar to what you're doing the next play, and you're keeping the defense guessing, and then you're marrying that over to the passing game. So that's exactly what we're talking about. This is how schematically you can help out your offense. Now, again, I said that the run blocking for the Bears was awesome. So yeah, they it's not like they were getting beat on the lines. They were winning too. But this stuff, if Kevin Patullo was able to do some of this stuff, it would help out the blocking so much because the defense wouldn't be able to commit the way that defenses wouldn't be able to overcommit to stop the run the way they are. It's too predictable. So
to stop the run, and they're also, from an Eagles perspective, we're not executing to make them pay to even get them to come out of it, right? Yep. So you need a lot to happen, and you need. It sounds cliche-ish, but you need everybody to do their job, to communicate, and just win their battle. Win that play for their role. To make for the bigger picture to be successful. And it's just not happening. I don't think it's, once again, it's hard to add layers when you're not executing. Yeah. So when you hear Sirianni say, like, after this game, we got to get back to basics, we got to figure it out, got to look inward. That is true, because in order to even prepare a 5-course meal, you got to be able to do scrambled eggs, and they can't even do scrambled eggs right now consistently. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so I can't expect you to give me an exquisite creative dish if you can't do the basic stuff right. For whatever reason, not coaching it up Monday through Friday. If there's a disconnect in the meeting room from a game plan perspective, if the game plan is trash and we can't pivot to something else, it's a combination of everything, of all these factors. And now this is definitely true when you start to see a team lose games in multitudes of ways. Yeah. From losing to getting a big lead, losing that away, Denver game, having a lead, losing at the last second. And then you have this game, you had the Giants game. Like, this team has lost a game, one of these 4 losses, every which way you could think of. But I would say this loss, from a optic perspective, they never felt like they were in the game. Yeah, never did. Even after the interception, it's just like, yeah. So that's Bears Eagles. Good job by the Bears, who now lead. They are the number 1 seed in the NFC right now. That obviously that can change, but right now they're the number 1 seed. Awesome stuff by that. So I want to now let's get into the game from Thanksgiving, or the first game from Thanksgiving, Lions Packers. Right, 2 teams. You were before the season. You were on the Lions. I was on the Packers. They won. Packers won the Week 1 matchup, and weeks into the season, Packers kind of looked up and down a little bit. The Lions were rolling, but now the Lions have kind of hit a skid. Packers are now starting to roll with this win. They looked impressive, and the Packers beat the Lions on Thanksgiving. The first thing I want to say that made a difference here, and this is what we talked about this a couple weeks ago. We were talking about the Packers, the loss to the Eagles. Is it felt like LaFleur was calling games so conservatively, but this game against the Lions, they chances. They threw downfield. They finally let Jordan Love attack downfield. The number is thrown deep in this game. I mean, 7 of 11 on deep throws, a 63.6 completion rate, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. The EPA per pass on those deep throws was plus 1.5. And you had
two guys, Christian Watson, 2 catches for 68 yards and a touchdown. One of them was a 51-yard touchdown. So I'm just saying his numbers from deep throws. Dontavian Wicks on deep throws, 4 catches for 86 yards, 1 touchdown, and the one touchdown he had was a 22-yard touchdown. So bombs away. That was the difference. And this is the type of offense that you want to see them have if they're going to have success. Losing Tucker Kraft was a big loss, and I still think that could be very instrumental. But hey, they're getting Jaden Reed back soon, who's going to be a yak threat. So they could make noise in the playoffs, and I think it's time we start taking them seriously. Because if they're going to call games like this, and Jordan Love, who has been really good this year, answering a lot of critics, doubts about his performance, what he's capable of doing. He's been playing overall really well. Yes. So they're for real. Packers, I think, need to be looked at as a legitimate NFC contender.
Yeah, I mean, divisional games was a little tough because the Panthers beat them. They're just the consistency, you just don't know 3-4 weeks from now if we're going to see the same Packers team, right? I just think it's wide open. I like what I saw. A lot of that stuff was on 4th down. So Detroit just couldn't get off the field. But also, once again, for the second year in a row, they're starting to be depleted on the defensive side. Terry Arnold might be done for the year, for the regular season at least. I like what I saw. Packers out of the Packers. Lions, I don't know. You talked about Tucker Kraft. I think just for the Lions perspective too, losing Sam Laporta for the rest of the year is huge, and it's very big in the run game. And what you do out of that, right? What you're able to do out of those looks, where it may look like a run play, but you get that play action, and you get a Cole Kmet touchdown. So I will say this: even with the Packers doing that, Chicago, I still think is playing better than both of those teams.
I think right now, I would agree with that. I would agree with that 100%. Yeah. And it's tough to say because the Bears haven't had a huge test before they played the Eagles. And again, the Bears defense is probably a concern, but if they continue to take the ball away at two turnovers a game, that makes up for a lot of stuff. It makes up for a lot of stuff. So, they can. Right now, they're the hot hand. I think if the Packers play to what they're capable of playing, they are the better team. But continuously, Matt LaFleur, continue to put the pedal to the metal. Be aggressive. Continue to be aggressive. The Lions, on the Lions side, it's just you mentioned concerns with injuries. Amon-Ra St. Brown left really early in this game, so
I think he has a high ankle sprain.
I think a medium ankle sprain, medium or low ankle sprain. It wasn't a high ankle sprain, so it wasn't too serious, from what I remember. But their interior of their offensive line continues to be an issue. It was kind of weird. Frank Ragnow returned from retirement and supposed to come back. Now he has an injury and he's back retired.
Yep.
So that's tough to digest. And right now, the chances, I think, for the Lions to even make the playoffs right now, it's below 50%. It's 40-something% for them to get in.
Really?
Yeah. They are on the outside.
Their record is 7-6?
7-5.
7-5.
Yeah. So I'll bring up the NFC playoff standings. So
two from the NFC West definitely get in. 2, maybe 3 from the NFC North get in. 1 from the South and 1 from the East.
NFC playoff picture. Let's see.
I want Carolina to win the South so bad.
Oh, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
It's just the game that they played against the Rams is the game that they had the opportunity to play Monday night against the Niners. They just couldn't capitalize.
Yeah.
They had this turnovers, if not more. It's just uncharacteristic. They couldn't turn those turnovers into points. And on Sunday against the Rams, they were able to.
Yeah. So Bears are leading the division. They're 1. Rams are 2 seed. Eagles right now are 3 seed. Buccaneers are 4 seed. The 5th seed is the Seahawks, 9-3. Packers are the 6th seed at 8-3-1. Niners are 9-4 as the 7th seed. And then, the Lions are 7-5. So they're 2 games out of that other wild card spot.
Yeah. So you said Packers are the 6th seed?
6th seed, yeah. Here, I'll share.
So they're the 6th seed ahead of San Francisco because of the time they have one less loss.
Yeah, one less loss. Here, I'll pull it.
I wouldn't want to see the Packers. There's no team, and that you just mentioned that has a playoff chance that I would want to see if I'm the Eagles right now. Even if it was Dallas, I wouldn't want to risk that. I wouldn't want to risk that at all.
I hear you. Let me try to zoom out so we can try to get everything. So this is what the Bears 1, Rams 2, Eagles 3, Buccaneers 4, Seahawks 5, Packers 6, Niners 7, Lions at 8, Cowboys over there in 9. So we'll get back to this. That's a quick view. We'll get back to this when we get into the other discussion. But that was an impressive win for the Packers, pivotal win for the Packers as they keep pace with the Bears. Anything else from that end you wanted to talk about?
No, I mean, great Thanksgiving game, Thanksgiving tradition, good game, opportunities had on both teams, and that LaFleur stopped coaching conservatively.
Yeah,
it's the key to the game.
Yeah, Brandon B 5240 said Packers will be the 1 seed. So he thinks the Packers will end up being the 1 seed. We shall see. I mean, they could if they keep playing this way. The other game, let's talk about probably one of the bigger upsets of the season. Panthers win 1 against the Rams, who many, including myself, looked at as the best team in the league.
Every time a team this year gets crowned the best team in the league, this happens.
They lose, right? And I felt so bad. Shout out to my friend Warren. Before the game started on Sunday, he's like he was asking me for advice on Survivor, and he had a handful of games. He said, pick either like Miami over the Saints or what was the other one? The Niners. The Niners game, and then Rams over Panthers. Yes, which one do I feel the most confident in? And I told him Rams. He's like, you're not concerned about West Coast team going to the East Coast? And I'm like, that's a factor, but I just matchup wise, I don't see how the Panthers can keep up. And I look like such an idiot. I felt so bad. I was like, jeez. So I was proven wrong.
Right.
Now, what I will say is the Rams did have a 58% success rate throughout the game. So their offense was still moving. They were still moving the ball.
I think Devontae had two touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns.
Puka had an amazing one-hand sit catch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, the thing about the Panthers is they don't make a lot of mistakes. The defense plays sound, and they're balanced. And now, earlier in the years, I think the Panthers are 7-5, 2 or 7-6, something like that. Earlier in the year, they were really doing with the run game. But now, because of that, teams are starting to transition, and you're starting to see the pass game come alive. And McMillan, Leggett, who's the other one they have? The other wide receiver. I can't remember his name.
Coker,
right?
He's been good.
Even the tight end, I forget the tight end that they have too, but starting to spread the wealth. Dave Canales, who's an offensive mind, you would think that he would still he's starting to find his groove.
He is, yeah. Bryce is ground. He is. We'll get to a Bryce conversation in a bit because I definitely want to touch on them. But what the Panthers are able to do, because you talk about balance, right? Mm-hmm. Like they don't rip off a lot of explosive runs, but they are consistent. Like they'll grind you down. That's like with Rico Dowdle and Chubb behind him. Like they're not going to pick up chunk gains, but they're going to consistently grind out tough yards and just wear you out as the game goes on. So that's what they did. And then, did you know this? because I did not know, the Panthers are third in the NFL when it comes to EPA performance on fourth down. They're third.
I did not know that.
Average EPA per play on fourth downs is plus 1.365. Again,
Wow.
third in the league. It's insane. Like, that's so crazy. And they had in this game 2 fourth down touchdowns. One to Coker, and then the other two was it Tet? Was it McMillan?
Yeah, it was Tet.
Yeah.
It was Tet.
Yeah.
Tet was on the far side of the formation. And I think he kind of ran a deep cross, and then he seen the opportunity. He got upfield, and
it was gone.
Bryce hit him.
Yeah, beautiful passes by Bryce. Like even like the Coker one, like beautiful touch. So it's just like they were able to convert on fourth down, keep it close with their ground game, and again, I know like the Rams had a 58% success rate with their offense. They were moving. The issue is the 3 turnovers. The 3 turnovers are
one was a pick six.
One was a pick six. So that's what did the Rams in. That's like, do I think this is a trend of who the Rams are? No, I don't think so. I think this is again like a game, West Coast team traveling to the East early in the early slot, and they're playing a tough Carolina team.
In Carolina, traveling East Coast to West, from West Coast to East.
Yeah.
Early game.
So it's just you commit 3 turnovers like that, it just happens, and the Panthers capitalize. So, kudos to the Panthers.
Who did the Rams play last week? Was it the Seahawks?
No, that was a couple weeks ago.
That was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Who did they play?
Hold on, I have it. They played. I put them
the Bucks.
They played the Bucks, and they blew them out.
So this, you could kind of say that this was probably a trap game, for the Rams.
Yeah.
But I mean, it definitely helped everybody else in the NFC as a whole, because people thought they were about to run the table and finish 15-2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brandon says fourth down is the new down. Old school fans don't get fourth down is the new down. Everyone's, and don't forget who started the trend. Doug Peterson. He started the trend in 2017 of going for it all the time on fourth down. So kudos to Doug. But it's awesome what they were able to do. Let me ask you this. Talk about this, because I don't know. If you want me to answer this question, it's going to be with I don't know. But let's discuss it. What are your overall thoughts? We touched on it a little bit last week. What are your thoughts on Bryce Young? Is he the guy for the Panthers? What's his ceiling? Like,
he's brought some stock into putting faith in him as the guy. He's no longer that BUST word.
He's no longer a bust. The thing that I am wondering is because, like, watching Bryce throughout the year, if you looked solely at his highlights, you'd be like, yo, this guy is balling, right? If you look at it, because some of his best throws are phenomenal plays, phenomenal plays. The problem is, if you look at the whole picture, a lot of his lowlights are so bad. They're so bad because he's short and he's physically limited. Like he doesn't have the arm talent. He's not a superb athlete. So what he is capable of doing in terms of high level plays, you'd see from like a Lamar Jackson, a Josh Allen, Drake May. He doesn't have that type of physical talent.
Right.
So he has to play a certain way. And when he plays and when he's on, he looks good.
This right here.
His confidence.
His career is going to be up and down based on what his confidence in his own self is. His confidence in himself and his belief in what they're calling, his belief in the game plan, his belief in what he's seeing on the field is going to play more into what his overall success is going to be. I think he's brought time for Carolina and the fans base to believe in him. Like, let's see what this guy truly has. right? And I would say, like, you talk about the physical traits, he doesn't have them, which is all but evident, right? So we'll use an analogy for another sport. In golf, right? You look at a typical golfer who has a build that can hit the ball far, has a lot of ball speed, and a lot of that comes from whiplash and being in length and building momentum gradually. In order to usually do that, you need a guy with long arms, usually tall, above 6 feet, 6'1", 6'2". Think of someone like a Michael Phelps or something like that. Or if you look at Scott, it's like people don't realize Scotty Scheffler, number one golfer in the world, is like 6'4". Kind of plays into a part of what you're saying. Like, Bryce Young doesn't look the part, but he maximizes his efficiency for what he does. The mental game between the ears, it almost was like he almost had to prove it to himself as well that he can do it now. It's almost like he's on the court, he's playing now, just everything is all new, and he's not having success. Am I still that guy? Right? Am I still that guy? And I am. And I think just as much as that has balance as they are on offense, I think the biggest key to them is their defense. It's Derek Brown stepping up, JC Horn being healthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that defense travels and the run game travels. I'm not saying that they're going to go to the conference championship game, but I would not be surprised if they play in the divisional round.
They have good stuff on that team. They're building. So they have some really tantalizing things that they're doing. And the arrow is absolutely pointing up on the team. I just think that what makes me, because you're saying like he maximizes what he can do, right? He maximizes the physical tools that he does have. It's not consistent enough though. Like it's again throughout the whole year, like there were he looked bad in stretches, like really, really bad. And you can't just ignore that.
Right.
But you can't ignore like how good he looks when he's on. So that's where I'm at. I don't know. I just now I think in terms of like deciding his future with the Panthers, I think he absolutely has bought himself another year. And I think the best route would be to bring in a veteran to, I guess, like push him. We can say compete, right? We can say
for you, there's nothing he could do this season to avoid to avert that happening.
What do you mean to avert?
These last 5 games that he continues to play at the high level that he's playing now, and maybe he sneaks a playoff win. Do you still feel the same
in terms of bringing in competition?
Yeah.
If he plays like he did the past 2 games, and if he plays and how he's looked in those games were how he was playing at the end of last season, if he plays every single game, almost every single game from here on out like that, then sure, no competition.
Okay.
The thing is, do I have faith that he'll be able to consistently do that? I don't think I do. I think we're still going to see lows from him when it comes to consistency, and so that's where I'm like, you like exercise his option, right? Like exercise his option, let his contract play out in Carolina to ride it out, see what he can do. Because I preached the episode you weren't on with me. I had preached that like there's no development and patience now when it comes to the quarterback position. And so I am all for
it's instant ramen now. That's what people
want. It's like you have 4 years to prove us if you're the guy, and after that you're done. Like it's sometimes it's not fair. And development progression is not linear. So absolutely have exercise his option and play it out with the 5 years and see where it goes. I just think that you need to maybe help bring along that progression and development, having competition next year, like legitimate, not like Andy Dalton, like get in a legitimate veteran who could be a viable starter, like a bridge quarterback, get him in here to say, hey, Bryce, you've got to be more consistent or else you are going to be benched for this guy. So like bring that in to kind of see where it goes. So I think he's bought himself another, he's bought himself another year at the very least. But the question marks of what exactly can his ceiling be,
Right.
and how much support from a team perspective does he need to get you, for him to get you where you want to go, long term. So I don't know the answers to that question. Gun on my head, I think his ceiling, his maxed out, like, career wise, is maybe like a Baker Mayfield, maybe. Um,
I mean, I may have
so
just a slight tad above that, just because he is younger. I think he can get into it earlier. We see what, like Brandon saying, match made in heaven to go to the Steelers. I can kind of see that as well. I think he'll just have a better opportunity earlier in his career versus what Baker has.
yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, I do agree. Like, his team now is on the up and up, whereas Baker, like with the Browns, didn't really have anything. Yeah, absolutely. If there's a path to a successful career and what he could maximize, I think I look at Baker as similar. They're not like complete one-to-one comparisons, but like I see, like, Baker. What would you say? Like, he's a top 10 to 15 quarterback, right?
Yeah, I would say
Yeah,
top 10.
like
I would say like between 8 and 12 quarterback in the league.
well, I think that's like the max that I see Bryce could become. But like, that's if he hits that. I think that's a max. That's if he gets to that. So yeah, it's something. So Brandon does have some input. He says his best years will not be in Carolina. So that's very, very possible. He does say Bryce equals Caleb career. I definitely disagree with that. I think Caleb is shown like that physical talent. Like it's significantly better than what Bryce has. The way Caleb spins the ball, the way like he's able to throw it, that's just it's crazy. He also has put Bryce on the Seahawks. Does he win there? I don't. I think with the way that Sam Darnold playing now, Darnold is the better quarterback. I think because Darnold is able to. I don't want people to forget that Darnold has arm talent. Like, Darnold can throw it. He was a number one overall pick, right? Was he the number one overall? But he was
Darnold was he was a top 5. He wasn't number 1 overall.
Okay, but he was drafted early. So he was drafted early for a reason. He has physical tools. It's just that for some reason he haywires and throws commits inexplicable turnovers. Right. But like, he can spin it. And like, to that benefit of the Seahawks, him letting it go, that has led to the most explosive passing offense in the league. So I think Darnold gives a higher ceiling as a quarterback than what Bryce does
right now. Like at this moment, right now.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, good discussion on Bryce, because I know it's so tough. He's like an enigma almost. Like, how do you view him? I don't know. Like, I really, really don't know. We could look at this 3 years from now and like, I could be like, I was so wrong on him. Like, he's like a bona fide top 10 quarterback. Or like, we could be looking at this 3 years from now and he's a fringe starter, like a high quality backup. And I also wouldn't be surprised. So I see a range of outcomes when it comes to Bryce. We'll see. All right. So those are the 3 games. Now let's get back to the NFC playoff picture, because that is one to look at. And there are some other teams we need to also discuss. So let's share screen, go back to this. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can kind of see. I want to focus it on just the NFC. I can't scroll this, can I? All right. Well, we'll look at just the NFC side. So where do I want to go with this? So the Bucks. We talked about the Panthers. Bucks are at 7-5. Panthers are at 7-6. So Panthers have to be on the bye week this week, right? They're on the bye week.
Yes.
Yeah. They could win the NFC South.
Who do the Bucks play this week?
Let's see. Buccaneers schedule. The Bucks play, I think, the Saints. So they are Saints, home to the Saints, home to the Falcons, at the Panthers. So Bucks and Panthers play each other twice in the last 3 weeks. So yeah, at the Panthers, and then the Bucks are at the Dolphins, and then they're home to finish off the season against the Panthers. So those 2 games could be like the deciding. That's crazy. That's not wow.
Man, I would, but now with the Bucks hitting Godwin back, Mayfield not missing any time, Bucky Irvin coming back as well. Like that's going to be. I feel like the Panthers low key are like the Bears, just not as glamorous. Just not as glamorous. Like I feel like they're playing more consistent football.
Well, I mean, they got blown out by the Niners.
But that's where if you go back and watch that game in the vacuum, like they had opportunities.
They had opportunities. They just couldn't capitalize on the turnovers.
Exactly, which I think they learned from this past Sunday.
Yeah.
So if they turn any of those into points, and then Canales isn't chasing points or fourth downs and turn and channeling his inner Dan Campbell, that game may turn out different. I mean, Purdy, like when's the last time you ever heard you losing a turnover battle by 1 or 2 turnovers and still winning the game? Like I think Purdy had 3 or 4 picks in that game.
Yeah, he was turning the ball over.
So that's why I said like they put themselves in there. It's one of those things you got to learn how to win. But I mean, for the Bucks themselves, I just getting healthy, but at the same time, I don't know what to shot. I mean, and Buka's production has went down significantly from earlier in the season.
I think people
I probably my heart wants to say Panthers, but my mind is saying Bucks.
I think that's where I'm at too. I think logically I'm going to say Bucks, but I mean there's absolutely a path where the Panthers win this out, and I would love that. I would absolutely love for the Panthers to win the NFC South. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. The other thing, NFC West. Let's see. So Brandon real quick says you're missing the end of the season. Panthers are turning. I'm a Packer fan too. No, I hear you. They are like because that's the thing. Like the Bucks are kind of trending downward, whereas the Panthers are trending upward. So I would love to see the Panthers take that division. I think it's absolutely possible. They just can't have any more letdowns. Like they've got to really, really like be on their game for the rest of the season. NFC West. So the Seahawks. Let's see. They play because we didn't even talk about their game. They won again. Obviously, their defense is. I think after the Texans, the next best defense is the Seahawks.
It took Mike McDonald 2 years, but he got it. He's doing what he got hired for. Put it like that.
They beat the Titans and then they beat the Vikings. They demolished the Vikings 26-0.
And Sam Darnold had a crap game.
Yeah, he didn't play well, but he didn't need to. So
JSN had, I think, 2 catches, 3 catches like that.
Yeah, very, very little. Surprisingly though, like I guess you could say surprisingly, but not really. The ground game wasn't bad. It was efficient. Kenneth Walker doing his thing. The Sharps got into the end zone, so it's good to see if that ground game is on the uptick. But yeah, the Seahawks, they're at the Falcons. They're home against the Colts. That's another good one. Another team, the Colts. We haven't touched about the AFC yet. The Colts are kind of like they're feeling it now after being hot early on the season. But then December 18th is the rematch, Rams versus Seahawks. Huge.
In Seattle
this time. And that is a primetime game. So I've got that game circled. Like
they should have won the first one.
They should have won the first one. So I am very excited about that. They are playing very, very well, especially on defense. Like I said, they are, I think, second best defense behind the Texans. You had this. I wanted to talk about this. You had this question in one of our chats. Very, very interesting question. You asked, would the Seahawks have been better off if they kept Geno, or was it Sam Darnold the right choice? I'm gonna let you answer that first.
I feel like Geno takes more chances to Sam. I feel like the arm talent is kind of similar, but Geno would scramble, more athletic.
Yes.
I kind of think they would be within like a 1 to 2 win range. I like
similar.
Very, very similar. Very similar. Because the defense is better this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be what are they? 9-4 now, 9-3?
8-3.
8-3?
Hold on.
That means at least
9-3. Sorry, 9-3.
9-3.
Same record as the Rams. Same record as the Rams.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they probably 9-3. Who are their losses to? They lost to the Rams.
Lost to the Rams, lost to the Niners,
Bucks.
and lost to the Bucks. Yeah.
Yeah. So
close games.
I would say they would either be 10-2 or 8-5 or 8-4. Like within that range. I don't think there would be that much variance. I think it may look a little bit different. I feel like Geno didn't scramble a lot, didn't do that, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I feel like K9 has been more effective when Geno was the quarterback.
A different scheme.
It's a different scheme. It's but I don't think there's too much variance. Geno would still love to be there. I can tell you that.
Would he though? Because I don't know. Like he was also eager to get out of there. I think.
Yeah.
Now,
but I think, do you think that was him and his friction with the organization, or some friction maybe he had with DK?
I think that was. I wouldn't need a Seahawks insider to think, but I don't. From what I had read, Geno kind of wanted to go elsewhere. I think it mainly stemmed from contract. I think the Seahawks money driven. So, like, he wanted more than what the Seahawks were willing to give him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm looking at this like Geno or Sam.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not going to, because if we're going to include contract, right? I think what they're able to do now with Sam, and like. Let me get their contracts up before I say that, because I want to be
100%. Not that far. I want to say
they're not that far.
Like 3 years, 70 million, 75 or something like that.
Let me see. Sam Darnold contract. So Sam Darnold's contract is 3 years, 100.5 million. Geno's is 2 years, 75 million. Let me see the details because I want to see when there's a potential out.
2 years, 75.
2 years, 75.
Average of 37.5 mil.
There's a potential out. So you like. So we're 25. 6, he would have a dead cap hit of 18.5 mil. Geno Smith.
Okay.
Sorry, Geno Smith.
Okay.
If they were to cut bait, this is just a very like surface level look at it. I believe it says dead cap 18.5. So the out wouldn't be until 2026. After 2026, Sam Darnold. So yes, Geno Smith has a cap hit this year of. Sorry, this is going really slow. I think I got too many tabs open. Let me stop sharing this. Okay, stop sharing. Okay. Too many tabs open. Okay, so Geno Smith contract, his cap hit is 40 million this year, 26 million next year. All right, now Sam Darnold has a cap hit of 13 million this year, but next year it spikes to 33, and then his potential out is the same year. his potential out on his contract is 2027. So their contracts, their potential outs would be similar. So they're tied in pretty much financial, unless the respective teams want to take a dead cap of a significant amount if they want to get cut bait after the season, which I don't see. But yeah, the cap hit for Darnold spikes from 13 to 33 next year, whereas Geno's is the bigger cap hit now goes down to 26. So like, I guess it depends like how you want to break it down. You know, which year you want to be paying higher to which quarterback. It's so close because when Geno was in Seattle, he was playing really well, like very, very underrated. And it's hard to, it seems silly to say now because with the Raiders, he's playing so poorly. Like he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. So it's hard to say, but like if I'm just looking at how he was in Seattle, I don't know. And I liked him a lot. But I think also because they brought in Kubiak and all together as a unit, that the coaching staff targeted Sam Darnold. I think, and a lot of it was scheme fit. Not to say that Geno Smith couldn't run this type of offense, but I think that Sam Darnold is more of a scheme fit for this type of offense than Geno is.
Okay.
So I think if I were to, when it comes down to it, gun in my head, I think the Seahawks are better off with Sam Darnold because of fit, and they had more financial flexibility this season than they do next year. So it's a good question, though. That's why I wanted to ask it. I was like, I don't know. It's so close.
I want to say it's splitting hairs, but it's almost as close you can get without splitting hairs.
Yeah, Brandon also agrees. It's so close. And again, I'm not looking at it as how Geno is playing now. I'm looking at it as how he was playing with the Seahawks.
Yeah. So I know we kind of with the tangent because we were talking about this question, but we kind of looked at the division, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, the Niners are also 9. They're either 9-4 or 9-3. I think the Niners may be on bye. So their bye is this week too.
Yeah.
So I feel like out of those 3 teams, I have the least faith in the Niners.
Yeah, I do too. Because I don't know, their defense. I'm not sold on their defense. No, I know they're riding the CMC train. Like he is their offense, so it is what it is. But like Purdy hasn't looked great since coming back.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because last year when everyone else was hurt, Purdy was awesome. Yeah. People don't realize that Purdy was awesome last year, but now like he gets hurt, he comes back, and he just doesn't look the same. He doesn't look the same. Yeah. Yeah. So the Niners have the Titans. When they come back from bye, and then they're at the Colts, and then they're home against the Bears, and then they finish the season against the Seahawks. Okay. So they've got a tough 3 games to end the
Colts schedule is tough.
Yeah, Colts schedule is tough. So yeah, I know their schedule is, so that's why I'm like you start to get a little bit concerned about the Colts, but yeah, I do think, Niners are right there, and shout out to them for somehow getting to 9-4. But yeah, like I think it's still either Seahawks or Seahawks or Rams. That's going to come down to the for the division in the West. We talked about the East, the North. What do you think?
I'm going Bears until I'm
You're
proven.
Gonna go Bears. My heart wants the Bears. My heart wants the Bears to win it. Yeah. I don't know if my brain can get there. I think my brain is saying Packers, but
I say that because I don't know if the Packers could drop an uncharacteristic game, and that's the thing. So Brandon, being a Packers fan, my biggest thing about the Packers and my lack of full conviction is just seeing it consistently out of Jordan Love. Now, if LaFleur changes ideology and he's going to keep going this, I would go to Packers. But I have to see it. I have to see it.
I just think like and I said it in the chat because I know you and Jake agree, but like
Mhm.
Jordan Love, the Packers have had some bad losses, but at the same time, every team in the NFC has had some bad losses. I mean, Matt Stafford, who we love and was the front runner for MVP, just gave away the front runner of MVP because he coughed it up 3 times against the Panthers. So every team has had bad losses. But Jordan Love has been consistently good all year. And I think last year he was banged up, and that really affected his play to where he was inconsistent. I think this year he's kind of showing to be the guy that was more so the guy that we saw at the end of 2022, right? Where he just went on a heater, right? Was that 2022?
Is that the year that they played
2023.
Dallas?
Yeah,
They played
2023.
Dallas in the playoffs?
Yeah, 2023. I apologize. So I think that Love has settled into be like, and I just, I want people to realize that like Jordan Love is good. Jordan Love is he's not 2024 Jordan Love. He's looking like he was at the end of 2023. So he's been consistently good, and as long as he's not handcuffed with the conservative play calling, I think he'll be good. And it's not like we've never seen him play well in the playoffs. He beat the Cowboys and played well the next round. I believe was it against the Niners?
No. So
Lions.
Lions.
The Lions they played after? Brandon, I think you are, if he's still listening in.
He said he's a Packers fan. So you're talking about that playoff run that they had?
Where they beat the Cowboys, and then the next round.
Who did they play in the divisional round?
Like it was either the Lions or the Niners. And they almost he played well that game too. So I mean,
was it the Bucks?
I don't think it was the Bucks. How about you're gonna make me look it up? 2023 Packers playoff.
So they played Dallas in the divisional round. I thought they played Dallas in the wild card round.
It was a wild card round. Hold on.
Yeah, because so what was the NFC Championship game that year? I thought they lost in the NFC Championship game that year.
2023 was Niners and hold on. Let's see. I will let's bring it up now.
No, you're right. 2023 was Niners Lions. So it was it was the wild card. It was a division round they went to, because this is where the Niners got lucky because the Packers should have won that game.
Yep.
Yeah. The Packers had that game. I forget what happened. It was some wonky call. I want to say it was some 4th down something, but the Packers are in control of that game.
Yeah. They lost to the Niners. Yeah, they lost to the Niners. They beat the end. So it was close. And so I think with Jordan Love, he's shown. Brandon says it was the Niners. So he does ask, like, you see it consistently from the Bears. Yeah, we haven't. That's the thing.
We haven't.
we haven't seen it consistently from the Bears. But my head says Packers. I have nothing against the Packers. Like I predicted the Packers to win in the division before the season. So I'm not a Packers doubter. I have a lot of rooting interest in the Bears right now because I love Kyle Guy. I've been defending Caleb Williams for a long time. I love a lot of the pieces they have on the Bears. I think Ben Johnson's awesome. So like I just also like narrative and story wise, it would be so interesting to have the Bears go from like last to first.
Right.
So that's why I personally say like my heart says Bears, but I don't think they're as good of a team as the Packers. I think the Packers, if they play their game, the Packers will win the NFC North. So that's my one. I don't think the Lions. I think the Lions are out of it, unfortunately. So, all right. Anything else for the NFC playoff picture? Yeah. Anything for No Huddle?
So I had posed a question. You think you posed it, or it was one in the comments from Eagles Talk that?
Yes.
Kyle Mahunga. In this offseason, is AJ Brown being traded off season? And I'm starting to. I don't know if the money works. I can I think it could be
Look
on
it
the
up.
table. You asked me specifically would I trade AJ for Pickens?
That was the comment. The comment was so the reason why it's interesting is because last week's show we had your no huddle. One of your no huddle topics was George Pickens and how it's awesome to see him in the spotlight now and be what we felt he could be because both of us were high on him.
Yep.
So like it's interesting now. And I'm not saying it would be a scenario. Like I don't think this would play out. But if you could,
if it's from talent for talent, I would have to strongly consider it. When you take it to the contracting perspective, because then you would have to pay Pickens. That's what makes it tough.
That's what makes it tough. So like if I'm bringing up AJ Brown's contract, we're in 2025.
His cap number is high. I know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So his cap hit is $23 million. No, wait. It gets worse. If we were to get rid of him, his dead cap hit would be $72 million.
Yeah, that's not happening. But so hypotheticals, talent for talent, I had to consider it. I would definitely have to consider it, and it's not
age wise. I think
yes.
I think it's age wise. It's if you're taking like money out of it, and you're talking about talent and age, I think. I'm going to say this
because what AJ's like, 28, 29. AJ's what 28, 29.
29.
And then Pickens has to be what 24, 25, 26.
George Pickens' age. He is 24. So
that's easy.
About 5 years roughly. Yeah. Pickens is a personality. Yeah, like that was the Steelers. He was. The thing is like that's always a ticking time bomb with him, right? Like it's just like, what are you gonna get? So I don't know. Like
see, Brandon, you're here, right? This is another reason why I would choose. It sounds crazy what I'm about to say, and I don't think the Packers defense gets enough credit. But like for like, skill position for a skill position, outside of Josh Jacobs, I like the Bears' skill position players better than I like on the Packers. And someone like Pickens, somebody like that, you add them to the Packers, then I think they're the best team in the NFC.
I think, if I were looking at the skill positions, I do agree Bears are. So like, as a Dunze, I love Luther Burden. I love Colson Loveland. And we're talking about now, like, obviously Tucker Kraft is better. I love Tucker Kraft.
Tucker Kraft is a problem.
Tucker Kraft
is baby Kittle, yeah.
Baby Kittle, he's amazing. So I give the edge to Kraft if it was there, but like with Kraft not there, obviously I love Loveland. DJ Moore he's kind of been lost in the sauce, so like there's that. But as a whole, the offensive skill position players, I would give it to the Bears. Again, because I'm also high on we love Swift, and I'm very high on Common on Guy. I'll give it to the Bears, but it's the defense of the Bears where I'm just like, it's no contest. That's the thing. Like the Packers defense is good. Right. It's really good. The Bears is not good.
Not good.
The
Eagles' offense made them look good.
But
they made them look good. But they're opportunistic defense, and that realistically could be your NFC Conference Championship game. It could be Chicago and Green Bay.
I wonder, would the seeding play out that way?
I mean, I'm having it as because I don't. So you said Chicago. I wonder what Chicago's schedule is the remaining, because depending on who they have in their schedule, they may lose one of the last four.
So Chicago, why is this taking so long? Chicago has the Packers. That's a great game.
When did they play them this week?
December 7th. Yep.
Is that Sunday Night Football?
No, it's a 4:25 game.
So
Packers. So they're at the Packers. Brady. At the Packers, and then they've got the Browns at home, so that's a win. But then they're home facing the Packers again. So, what is this thing this year with?
So they haven't played the Packers at all this year yet. Okay.
No, they haven't yet. How many teams did they do this on purpose? Where teams are playing each other twice within a span of 3 weeks? This is like the Eagles do it with the Commanders. They did it with the Giants. The Bears are
I think
done with the Panthers.
I think there's a lot of divisional games like that.
What is going on with this schedule? Like, there's rematches where it's two facing each other twice out of 3 weeks. That's crazy. But anyways,
I wouldn't count on that Browns game either because their defense is just that good. Like it's just
and Myles Garrett is defensive player of the year. Myles Garrett is an alien. He is a freak of nature.
He's not from this planet.
He's not from this planet. There's no way. There's no way he's from this planet. Well, Men in Black, call him the Men in Black because he's crazy. But the Bears do have a tough schedule. So Packers, Browns, Niners, Lions. So they do have a tough schedule.
All right.
How good they truly are is going to be tested within the next 5 weeks. 100%. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We will see. Brandon does say Wicks, Dobbs, Watson has been awesome since his return. Yeah, Watson has been really good. Watson battling injuries and like inconsistencies. Like hopefully he can keep this up because he's got talent. But like, he's looked good. Wicks is so talented, but if he could just stop dropping the ball, just catch it. Like he is so good, but he has to stop with the drops. And then Dobbs is old reliable. So 100%.
And you said they're getting Jaden Reed back soon.
They're getting Jaden Reed back, who I don't know if like Brandon agrees, but I've always felt that Jaden Reed was their best receiver. Now, Matthew Golden is first. I like Matthew Golden a lot, so we'll see if he's probably going to be their future wide receiver one. But in terms of right now, I've always felt that Jaden Reed is their best wide receiver. But I also have a tendency to prefer like explosive, explosive receivers. Right. So that is my personal bias. So maybe that's that. But they're getting him back, and they should look good. It's going to be. He's a slot boy. I think he's more than that, but the Packers don't use him anything more than just a slot. So and a gadget guy. So Jalen, a little power boy. Well, is he talking about a slot boy as in Wicks, or is he talking about Jaden Reed? So I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Clear it up before we head out here. But anything else from you before we head out?
No, sir.
That's all I have. I think because we are getting close to we're over 120. I knew we were run long, but we have to next week. We will pin it. We had to talk about the Chiefs. We have to talk about Chiefs next week. We'll save it, so we'll pin it for next week. That'll be our first no huddle topic. But that's definitely a topic of conversation.
Thanks, Brandon. We'll be back here again next week.
Thanks for tuning in. I love getting a Packers fan here. We're Eagles fans, but we started this show because we love the NFL as a whole. I don't just pay attention to Eagles.
We appreciate good ball.
Yeah, we love football. So thank you for tuning in. We sometimes go live around this time on Tuesday nights, but if we can't, our show is pre-recorded and released on Wednesday mornings at 8. So definitely tune back in. If you have awesome, great to hear. He says me too. He loves ball. So if you have any questions, Brandon, or anything you want us to cover, definitely reach out to us. I'm all over all social medias, like Instagram, Twitter is where I do most of my football talk. I'm on Facebook. You can reach my handles right here. Chuck's Brandon. So add us if you're on socials. Pete's over. His socials are all over the place. So look at the descriptions.
Actually, my social. If you just do the @OGPA2D, you'll find me on Twitter.
You'll find So you find it on Instagram. Yeah, I think there are in the description of YouTube. Yeah. So check us out. If you have any questions or anything, just hit us up. Let us know. We can talk about.
Appreciate the stuff, Brandon.
Yeah, appreciate that, Brandon. But thanks for tuning in. Thank you also to our sponsor, Alonzi Travel. If you need a vacation, anything, my email at the ticker, charles@alonzi-travel.com. For myself, for Pete, Mr. OGP, and the rest of us at ATD Radio, we thank you, and we will see you same time, well, kind of same time next week. Until then, peace out.
Peace.